Do you see somebody in, these types of companies that's the mobile person and they've got this figured out and we're kind of preaching to the choir, or, do they know where to start with this? I mean, what are you seeing with your clients?
The enlightening thing, in my opinion, was everybody knows, our clients know they need mobile. They need it. They don't know where to get it, and they're looking to us for that thought leadership, for that strategy. So through our partnership, we're able to provide that to them. They don't want to just send a text message out. They don't want to just put up a mobile web. They want it to encompass all of the other services that they're doing, and they really want that strategy and thought leadership behind it. So, it's typically not even talking to the same people we are talking to and engaged with, because they're not so sure who it should reside with themselves internally. Although they have the money to spend on it, they're not sure how to allocate it or who does it. So,
okay, good. And are you seeing the most, clients asking for mobile websites, iPhone applications, Android? I mean, what are you seeing with your clients trending-wise, what they're asking for, and what kind of functionality behind that?
So far, it's been, we've done a couple of unique apps for some customers, but it's a combination of something more long-term. So I really think that they're looking for a true mobile web solution. They know, and they've seen the data. We've shared the data with them that, in many cases, close to 60-70% of their consumers are coming to their website via mobile. So once we show them what that experience looks like, if it's not a pleasant one, or how often do they really go to their own website to look at it, and we have them do that. That's part of our presentation. Let's not use you as a worst case example, but let's show you what the current situation is and how we can help that, because they really need to make sure when customers are going to their website via their mobile phone that it is a good experience. So
good. And just last question, how does all this tie to social? Obviously mobile and social go hand in hand. Mobile's the device you have in retailer, and people want to increase Facebook, Twitter, things like that. How are you talking to clients about taking that mobile experience and taking it to social sharing?
Well, and that's some of the things that our customers have done, because they know about Facebook, so they put up a quick Facebook page. But how do they really make that go viral and increase their customer visits on their Facebook page? So we've talked a lot about, had a lot of strategy sessions with customers as far as putting that Facebook Connect on their mobile web device, so when people like what they're seeing, it automatically connects them to Facebook Connect. We've done that, just, hey, I like this new product, I like this new shirt that's come out, as all the way to music. I like this song that's playing in your store. We want to hear that as well. So there's a lot of ways to integrate all of our services through mobile, and then especially social media.
Great. I think that's key. I mean, we're doing a lot with retailer locations on how to increase that traffic and taking it from the mobile device and taking it social, not just following. We're doing a lot of, personal posts. So, if I'm in a retailer and I love this sweater, being able to, as Jaime said, say, hey, Carrie bought this purple cool sweater. Now all my friends see that. If I'm the leader on Facebook, then all my friends that are followers, might go buy that. So we're doing a lot of that. Somebody mentioned scavenger hunting earlier. That's doing really well. And then mobile web video is just going nuts. So that's great. The one thing I also wanted to talk about is, as somebody said earlier, the analytics behind this and the data behind this is really what's been missing, and the dialogue capability in the industry to date. I mean, everything in our campaigns start with what are the metrics we want to do. Like Merrell talked about, and I'm about to talk to him about, is being able to, the days of sending the SMS with a static coupon code, that's good, but now you want to know redemption rate on that, you don't have one. So doing unique coupon codes by individual, now I can see that Carrie's gotten 4 offers this month. She only redeemed the one about women's clothing. She didn't redeem kids. She didn't redeem, men's clothing. Now I've got insights, and now from the AMF campaign, now we have data to know, hey, we pushed an offer on Saturday night at 6 p.m. for a Sunday-only offer, and our coupon redemption rate was 12%. When we pushed that same coupon on Sunday morning, it was 8%. I mean, now we have these real metrics, and without having to do huge integrations to POS, we've figured out the way to tie in that couponing with our technology, which, really speaks to a great, proposition to be able to track it. Thanks, Jaime. So Merrell, AMF. So really here, what I wanted to talk about or ask you about is, somebody mentioned earlier, training is key. You guys have had issues with, training. It's always the first thing out of your mouth is, yeah, well, that sounds great, Carrie, but how are we going to get anybody to actually do that? Getting the employees trained and so forth. How is this, because we were able to track this at the location level, we're able to see who opts in by Merrell's by every location. We're able to see coupon redemption. One of the key metrics that Merrell set up front is, hey, I need to know by location who's texting in, who's redeeming coupons. And so we've set all that up. So we can now, before we rolled out mobile, were you able to tell, like, you ship out 6 signs to a location? Did you ever know if those signs went up, if you spent all this marketing dollars on signage and it ever made it there?
No. We didn't know much, and this has really been a good tool, and it's good because we can see the database build a lot faster at some centers than others. We know we're getting compliance. And the thing is, we're able then to take the ones that are successful and point them out to the ones who aren't doing anything. I mean, there's always an attitude, why should I give somebody a free game if they're already in the center? Why should I give somebody $5 off if they're already in the store? I mean, you're building a database, you're building a relationship. It costs money to get qualified people who are opting in. And so you can take the skeptics and turn around and say, look, this center in Ocala, they're doing a great job, and therefore they got this, and then those managers will start talking up, the fact that those people actually did come in on Sunday when we launched that thing on Saturday night, and so it builds. But the metrics and the analysis are not only important for the marketing department; they're important for operations.
Great. And so on your email campaigns, you guys do a lot of email campaigns today. You still do some direct mail quarterly. On your email campaigns, when do you typically send out an email? Let's say it's a Saturday only offer. When are you typically sending out an email? How far in advance?
We're doing our e-club mailings regularly on Wednesday. We're sending, somewhere around 1.7 million a week. We typically get our redemption on the weekends. But there we're talking to a family with kids, and they need a little bit more time to plan. So we're hoping that if mom gets the email and takes a look at it, they'll think about doing something over the weekend. With mobile, we can tighten it up a little bit, be a little more, go after a more impulsive audience, perhaps, who will respond on a shorter time frame. That seems to be the way it's playing out.
So on AMF's campaign, we typically send the offer the night before, and we're seeing, because we do a lot of Sunday offers, we don't want, send it out on Sunday morning church, so we typically send some out on Saturday. But it's really given us a great view into being able to see instant redemption within 24 hours. How often are you looking at the metrics by location and saying, hey, Joe, general manager at this location, how often are you communicating out to the field saying, here's the numbers, keeping them in the loop of offers coming out in that communication?
Usually a couple times a month. I mean, we'll look at it constantly, but because it's new and we want to get this thing going quickly, you just got to keep coming back at them and showing them who's successful and who's not, and what they can begin to expect. I mean, our customer is the Walmart shopper. And our business has suffered during the recession, and we haven't come back quickly. So we are just beginning to see things start to happen in the last 5 months, where some of our premium brand last December had the best December it's ever had. So, this is really going to be part of a strategy. It's happening in a good time because all of these people in the field are compensated and given bonuses on their performance metrics, which is all about traffic. So, we're just going to keep the drumbeat up.
By the way, I contribute that last best 6 months to mobile, of course. But the The other thing that we've been doing at AMF that Merrell touched on a little bit is social media and tying the mobile and social. So given that they're open play bowlers or that younger demographic that's mobile enabled, we've really tailored back the traditional marketing and reached them in a mobile and social media. So we've actually done a lot of Facebook ads tying to mobile and taking Facebook into mobile and vice versa. That has been doing really well. So just one last thing, as far as the, kind of planning and strategy around this, I mean, what's the vision? Do you kind of have, the general, I know the answer, obviously, because we helped you do this, but the vision, I mean, the roadmap, we spend a lot of time planning out what makes sense to do now, what's the low-hanging fruit, what's the, mobile web application type strategies. How often are you, kind of thinking about, what's next, test and learn, that kind of process?
Well, all the time. I mean, I think that, we've got an initiative now with group sales. A lot of companies are tired of the rubber chicken circuit at the hotels, and so bowling gives you a little something different to do, and a lot of people don't think of that. So I know we're going to be working on a campaign to reach corporate event planners, and not just, I don't mean professional meeting planners, but people in law firms or ad agencies, somebody in HR or somebody's admin who's responsible for planning group events. So what can we do to help stimulate that business and perhaps do contests, mobile contests? We're discussing a holiday campaign where to build our mobile database. We haven't figured it all out yet, but it'll be, we give $1,000 away a day to our mobile database. We've got to figure out how to get them into the center, require them to make a visit in order to enter, but it'll be a campaign that's specifically about building the database and getting a lot of people in a peak time of the year. We make all our money between Thanksgiving and April 15th. And so building up the database for December in anticipation of, the first calendar quarter is an important thing for us.
Great. So last question, everybody from, retailer perspective or, CPG companies, whatever it may be, always says, well, we can't touch our POS. It's archaic, trying to, get into our POSs of, 1,000 locations. That's, 6 months of IT's time. So that's the first thing you said to us, 10 months ago is you can't touch my POS. This is never going to happen. IT will have this hung up. So how's that gone?
Well, I mean, we actually had to go back and touch the POS, but we didn't have to do a wholesale, reintegration of it. And mostly it was about being able to accept the coupons and having the coupons shut off in the system after a one-time use. It's really the POS system is the big thing that stands between us and a loyalty program, because we have a very transactional business at the center. You don't come in and pay, start a tab and then pay the bill. It's you rent the shoes, you go to the snack bar. All of these are different transactions. So we've got to figure out how to capture all of that, and that'll be the next big challenge for POS.
So the great thing is we were able to kind of overcome a lot of that POS, and within a couple of months we were able to have the unique coupon codes by individual and tracking that down by center, by employee, by everything. So that was great from that standpoint. So I think we'll open it up for questions.
What are some examples of good brand building campaigns in the mobile space, not just coupons or offers?
From a mobile perspective, brand building, I mean, we've done, a lot of what we do is not just coupons. There's a lot of cool contest stuff that we've done. A lot of the stuff that we do in retail location, if you look at Office Depot as an example, is nothing about, giving away stuff for free. It's really about, I'm going to stand in front of a technology item if it's over $100, and I'm going to look it up online. I may touch and feel it. I may go home. Being able to, as a retailer, being able to deliver that experience at the fingertips. Somebody was talking about brand applications earlier. if you can give me, real-time customer reviews in store from my peers, not from the brand, if you can give me ratings, if you can allow me to take a fact tag home with me, if you can allow me to watch a video on how this product works, if I'm on the fence about buying it, those are great brand experiences that deliver what the consumer is looking for, that doesn't just say buy me, but is obviously helping them reduce the number of trips in store and making buying decisions in retail location. Somebody talked about augmented reality earlier. We're doing a lot of cool things with augmented reality and creating these cool experiences in store that are, really around brand experience, but you can share with friends. You can do really cool things. I can't talk too much about it, but you'll be seeing it in the next few months. But you'll be able to do really cool things in location to make that brand awareness and take it mobilely to social media. Yes.
A question for Merrell. What was your biggest trepidation before really jumping into mobile?
Oh gosh, I wasn't really. Well, one thing was the first time I went and saw Carrie, I didn't know how to send a text, so I was a little intimidated. I mean, I've been a BlackBerry guy and Mr. Email guy, and we sat down and she went through the presentation. Goes, why don't you try it? And I was like, I can't. So I got over that. But really, the thing that I tell people is, for me, it boiled down to I had 2 kids in college. And I found out I had to call them up to get them to read an email that I sent them. And I knew, just from my own personal experience, that we just had to move on. I mean, I've been an advertising generalist for years. And, you learn new media as it comes. But if you keep your ear to the ground, you're going to find that you need to move with the market. And where the consumer's going is where we all have to go. So there wasn't a lot of fear. A little of it with the point of sale and some operational issues, but we knew we had to go.
Any other questions? Nothing from Chris Justice? Tweeting about it. Nice. All right, great. Thanks, guys.